Hey there, Captain America here. What's all this I hear about chemical weapons and civil wars and biological warfare? You better put your act together before I come over there and stomp it out for America. Because in America, we know how to do things right. Oh! Apologies, Captain. Mjolnir does go a little crazy when it detects a hypocrite. Hi, I'm Jason Inman. I love to read comic books. That's why in the week of September 11th, I read all the Marvel Now comics that were published in the world. I'm going to give each of these a buy it, borrow it, or skip it rating. But before I get into that, don't forget to go to majorspoilers.com, the comic book website where they know that you love comic books, and we do too. Now enough of this jibba jabba, let's get on into some comic book reviews. Astonishing X-Men number 67. This is a great way to tell an X-Men story. Introduce a character that is outside the X-Men and have us see them through her eyes. There's basically an ostracized kid in a very, very small town. She's a nerd. She's not liked by people. She loves Lord of the Rings. She goes to a diner. She's applying for college. Her dad is like, you need to get into college because you don't want to stay around this town. And even her mom is that way too. And then while she's in the diner, Gambit and Wolverine show up and she recognizes them and she talks to them, and you find out that they're chasing an alien down, and they go outside. The alien ship shows up, and because of the girl, the day is saved. And she saves the day, and Wolverine's like, good job, bub, kid, whatever you call a kid that works with me. And then Gambit, tries to kiss with her and call her chérie and do all this stuff with her. And she cries and she breaks down and she's like, well, I don't know. Nobody accepts me. Nobody likes me. And Wolverine, who knew that Wolverine could give amazing pep speeches like a high school gym coach? But apparently since he's the head of the Jean Grey school, he does that now. And he gives her this amazing speech, and she goes home and he gives her this note that says, once an X-Man, always an X-Man. It's I know I basically just told you the story there, so you don't need to buy the issue, but you totally should buy the issue because this is one of the best X-Men storylines in years. This single issue, it's a great message for kids that are against bullying or feeling outside. That's what the X-Men should be about. The X-Men are a metaphor for being outside of society and not feeling like you belong to something. And because you're a part of this team, because you have these powers, you belong to something. But it just goes to prove that you don't need powers to be a hero or an X-Man. That is why this book is a buy it. Avengers number 19. I'm really digging Jonathan Hickman's Infinity. I'm really not digging all his tie-in issues. This issue falls prey to the fill-in issues of fill-in issues of fill-in issues that they always have during events, where they try to have these little side issues that are like, oh, these are important to the main event. You should read this. You should probably read this. I don't know why those executives from Marvel are very, from Kentucky, but they just are. But this issue falls into that trap. This says that it's important to the event, but it's not. It really is just a bunch of aliens. They kidnap Captain Marvel, and then Captain America tells a bunch of aliens how to live their lives or how to rule the universe. Why? Because he's Captain frickin' America. That's why, and he knows better than all. But other than that, this issue, besides having amazing art from Lee Francis Yu, is really just not that good. You could probably skip this. I mean, I love Infinity. So far, 2 issues, it is doing a great job. But I don't feel the need that I ever needed to read this fill-in issue. So I would say this is a borrow it from a friend. Avengers Arena number 15. The fish girl that Namor kicked out of Atlantis versus the Krakoa Island knockoff versus the red-haired boy who thinks he's Kamandi, created by Jack Kirby. They all fight. Fish Girl dies. Avengers Arena, it seems really good. I bet it reads great in trade, but because I'm only reading it by single issues every once in a while, I have no idea what's going on. I bet it's amazing in the trades. I can't wait till this trade comes out. But for now, if you're just going single issues, borrow it from a friend. Captain America number 11. Holy crap! How did Captain America go 12 years in between Breaking Bad episodes? I can barely go 7 days. That guy has a secret that he needs to tell us all. Basically, Captain America, this is the epilogue of the whole Dimension Z. He's been in Dimension Z for 12 years, but for everybody else, it was only 5 minutes. So he's now again an out-of-time character. He's 12 years out of time, which I love that. That's the greatest aspect of Captain America, his character being the fish out of water. He doesn't know how things are, how things should be. And this is him just dealing with the fallout. Carlos Pacio, I don't know, I apologize, sir, but I love your art. Love it, love it, love it. And it's great that he is sort of trying to emulate John Romita Jr. in this issue. I wasn't a big fan of the Dimension Z storyline, but I am a big fan of this issue. This is a definite buy it. Deadpool number 16. Wow! This is how you do a good Deadpool story that doesn't treat him like he's Wile E. Coyote. Holy crap. Basically, Deadpool is captured by the Weapon Plus program, who is making zombie versions of other X-Men like Nightcrawler, Wolverine, Cyclops from his DNA. And they're sort of trying to pull the concentration card, like it's very concentration campy and stuff like that. Deadpool spends no time in his costume. He's only in his burnt skin and everything like that in this issue. But basically, this is a really good issue. I highly recommend this issue. This seemed like the old Joe Kelly Deadpool. And Marvel Now, it only took you 16 issues to get this good. Keep it this way. Buy this book. Fantastic Four number 12. The world's most boring comic magazine. See too much time travel. See too much fighting. And see Ben Grimm turn into his original form from the very first issues of Fantastic Four. Mix all that together and what do you get? You get a skip it. Fearless Defenders number 9. This book gets a lot of big laughs because basically it's all the boyfriends of the Fearless Defenders hanging out in a bar. So you got Doctor Strange, you got Iron Fist, you got Venom, you got X-Man Nate Gray. Who did he date? What the hell? He must be a player, yo! Hanging out in a bar and they're all talking about the Fearless Defenders and they're cracking jokes and talking about how they first met him. It's really funny. It really adds a lot of very good character work to this book. Basically, the Fearless Defenders, otherwise, are just fighting like a big creature thing, and you know what? Those parts are really boring. The boyfriends in the bar really work. So because of that, I'd say this is a borrow it from a friend. Indestructible Hulk number 13. Reading this book makes me angry, and you wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Hulk, travel back in time. Hulk, meet King Arthur. Hulk, meet Merlin. Hulk, fight other guy. Hulk, like time travel story. Hulk's art really bad. Otherwise, borrow from friend. Say Hulk. Infinity Hunt number 1. It's the new Contest of Champions. Cue the Rocky theme. Yeah! All the schools of the Marvel Universe are fighting each other. They're gonna play like a Hunger Games like contest. They're gonna like fight against. It's such a great idea. The only problem with this is that Infinity is in the title, and what does this have to do with Infinity? Who cares that all the schools are fighting each other? Because you know what? Thanos is coming. He's right up in Earth orbit, and he's going to kill us all. So who cares about this Contest of Champions? Because he's going to rain fire and destruction and destroy every city way more than Superman did in Man of Steel. Like, it's gonna make Superman and Man of Steel look like child's play because, like, cities like, Tecumseh is gonna go out of commission. We need to get out of this Contest of Champions and get to fighting some Thanos. But anyways, Matt Kindt did a really great job with this book, so it's definitely a buy it. Mighty Avengers number 1. Sweet Christmas, what a kooky book. Basically, Luke Cage is leading his own heroes for hire, and it sort of morphs into the Avengers. He's got some Power Man, Superior Spider-Man shows up, and Superior Spider-Man scoos them all. He schools them all. He could probably also scoo them all because he's Otto Octavius, in secret. And then he forms up and he's the Avengers, and this happens. And Greg Land's art is very restrained here. He doesn't so much copy porn star faces like he sometimes does, like he did in that recent Iron Man run. You know what? I didn't expect this book to be as good as it was, but it is. It's great. We have some White Tiger, we have some Luke Cage, we have some Superior Spider-Man. I am in this for the long haul. This is the long haul and the long haul. Buy this book. Even though I can't talk about it, buy it. Uncanny X-Force number 11. Hey! Spiral's in this book. That's about it. Skip it. Wolverine number 9. If you enjoy Wolverine fighting colorful villains like Batroc the Leaper, who is the greatest villain of all time, I say, insert sarcastic comment here, then you will really enjoy this book. Yeah, this issue is a little bit slow. This issue doesn't really work. It's kind of a little bit different, and I don't really know how to take this whole Wolverine being killable arc because of some sort of weird disease. But you know what? Paul Cornell is such an amazing writer. Alan Davis is such an amazing artist that they make it work. They make this very much enjoyable. You know what? I care more for Wolverine in this book than I've cared for Wolverine in a long time. And even though that storyline of him losing his healing factor didn't quite work in the Wolverine movie, I have a feeling that Paul Cornell is going to slip something up out of his sleeve and make us like it here. So you know what? It's a definite buy it. X-Men number 5. This is X-Men Battle of the Atom Part 3, Cyclops and Jean are on the run from the future X-Men, and also the present day X-Men, and also probably the X-Men from Rhode Island X-Men, because there are so many X-Men in this book. But basically, young Cyclops and Jean, the 1960s X-Men to our perspective, are on the run, and they bond, and they get closer, and they become closer to these Cyclops and Jean that we know. And the current day X-Men are trying to hunt them down. But there are also the future X-Men, which are sort of led by young Professor X Jr., a version of Zorn who is actually a Jean Grey. So somewhere in the future, Jean Grey gets resurrected, or maybe because the timelines are different. I don't know. Anyways, but young Cyclops and Jean are off together, and they become the characters that we know and love, and that's what makes this event work. These small moments with these small characters, very much like a Thelma and Louise kind of feel. The thing that doesn't make this work is that the present-day X-Men are currently hunting them down, and it makes the current-day X-Men seem like the Avengers in Avengers versus X-Men. How they turned the Avengers into these basically pricks, and made them just assholes to hunt down these two kids. Like, I don't get why they're hunting down these two kids. It doesn't make sense. Like, I get that they have to go back in the time stream, but it doesn't make sense, and I'm just going to jarble, and I'm going to get angry about it, because that's what it should do. That's what you get all nerd rage up in here, and just calm it all down. So far, this has been a pretty good event, and if we keep getting character issues like this, it's going to work. I have no idea how they're going to end this. I have no idea what the conclusion of the all-new X-Men storyline is, but you know what? I love it, and I'm along for the ride, so it's a buy it. And that's all the Marvel Now comic books that were published on September 11th. As always, don't forget to go to majorspoilers.com, the comic book website where they know that you love comic books, and we do too. They have an excellent podcast called Dueling Reviews, where they review one comic book, two guys take it apart. I love that podcast. Go listen to it. As always, leave a comment below. Tell me what you think I should review next week. Tell me that you love these videos. Say hi. I'll say hi back. I comment a lot. And I have a new contest this week. I am giving away All New X-Men Volume 1, the first trade paperback of All New X-Men, an excellent series that leads right into X-Men Battle of the Atom that I talked about in this video. I'm giving you a digital code on the Marvel app. You get that comic for free. All you have to do is share this video on your Tumblr and your Twitter. Send me the links into my YouTube. The YouTube has a little messaging system. Send it to my YouTube so I can make sure that you did it, so I can see that you share the love, and then I can like you more and give you a free comic book. First person that does that gets All New X-Men Volume 1. Thank you all for watching these videos. I hope you like these videos. I hope you like comic books as much as I do. I hope you like my bad Captain America impressions. I don't have a full Captain America costume. I haven't got one yet. You know, I'm working on it. That's what these videos are, a working progression between you and me, because we both love comic books, and we both love the internet, and we both love YouTube. Internet. I'll try to say inner YouTube. This is kind of the part of the video where I usually ramble on, so hopefully that you still enjoy this. Enter that contest, win All New X-Men. I'm Jason Inman. Be seen you.
Not like you should be scared for your life or anything.
You could be like training me right now. That I could beat Two-Face.
Let's just wing it. Let's get you some food at the Wendy's.
Of course, Batman.
So this is after the little end screen, just to see who's watching. I just want to say hi, thank you. And if you're watching right now, all I want to tell you right now is fly me to the moon. Comment that below.